Hey, kind of still trying to figure out how I want to do this video. Normally, when I make videos, I spend a good, at least 5 minutes or so to just think about the different things I'm gonna say. But this time, I'm just, hitting record and talking. A couple things has kind of happened to me. The most important one, my grandma passed away. As of recording this, it's January 30th, and she passed on the 22nd, sometime in the morning, apparently. The exact time isn't known, at least to me. It's super sad. I hadn't really hung out with my grandma in a long time. She wasn't, doing very good. She was bedridden, and her caretakers weren't the best people, and there was a whole bunch of drama as to why my immediate family doesn't talk to like that end of the family, like with my grandma and the caretakers and the people that associate with my grandma, or used to anyway. And it was made even more sad by the fact that I didn't just lose my grandma, I lost a grandpa as well, because the man that was with my grandma wasn't my biological grandfather, but I've known him my whole life and I treated him as such. So it was pretty sad to find out that he at first cheated on and then left my grandma with another woman who turned out to be his first wife. So that betrayal really hurt me, and I know it hurt my grandma, which was one of the reasons my grandma refused to get out of bed, and refusing to get out of bed was one of the reasons she did not make it. Because she died relatively soon, I guess you could say. Like, my grandma's not 80 or 90 or anything, or she wasn't. Sorry, I'm still not used to saying. I'm still not used to referring to her in the past tense, so. And even though it's been a week, or, a little, slightly over a week since she died, and the funeral was a few days ago, I don't know, I guess it still doesn't feel real. My grandma was she was, the only way I could really put it is she was a drug addict, and she would much rather take drugs than allow people who actually cared for her to care for her. So that was part of the reason why I used to live at my grandma's house, which you would know if you watch this channel. I mentioned it a few times before, and on my gaming channel there were plenty of times where you could see me at that house. And while we were living there, my mom and even myself occasionally were there to take care of my grandma. But we got thrown out of that house, so that way my grandma could continue doing drugs with certain people, which ended up being her caretakers in her final few years of her life. My grandma was really troubled, though. Right when I was born, like a couple months, I think, I had an uncle who passed away in a house fire, and I never met him. Well, I mean, I met him, but I was a baby and I don't remember. And that death was sort of the catalyst for my grandma's downfall. But when I was younger, I still remember her trying to be a grandma to me, letting me stay over pretty much every other weekend. If I wasn't at that grandma's house, I was on my dad's side. And then, I would stay over, and they had cable before I did, so my first, exposure to Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and Boomerang Disney XD and stuff like that. We're at her house, and I have a lot of memories from when I was young with her and my ex-grandpa. And it's just also surreal because I'm dealing with family drama even now after she's dead. Um, my aunt, who is also a drug addict and was my grandma's primary caretaker, like she was the one who ended up living at her house rather than me and my mom. Like she just kind of took over. She and one of the other caretakers stole all my grandma's jewelry and other valuable possessions right after she died, so my mom didn't really get to have anything. And then, even then, she didn't want anything too valuable. She just wanted like some kind of collectible plate that my mom gave her, and then some other like random knickknacks to just have to remember her by. But my aunt, being the one who lived at that house, had the legal right to not let my mom in the house, despite the owner of the house, my quote unquote grandpa. He's not my grandpa anymore, but despite him saying that we could go in and get some things, he didn't live there. My aunt was, and my aunt didn't want us to come in because my aunt does drugs and she sucks and she steals things for drug money. So not only did my grandma die, my grandpa, or my like ex-grandpa, kind of left our family. And then my aunt ended up being a piece of crap. I mean, she was a piece of crap pretty much my entire life before that. But now, we definitely don't associate with her. So, in the course of a week, I lost a grandma, grandpa, and aunt. Grandma died. My grandpa abandoned me. And my aunt betrayed me. So she's shunned. And then to top it all off, I lost an entire side of my family. My grandma died. I am, my mom's grieving, so I'm trying to help her with that. But I'm not very good at the whole emotional thing. Even now that I feel sad, I still don't really know the correct way to express it, I guess. And this whole time of, being sad and thinking about the good old days, I guess you could say. I came across the Cowbelly meme, the safe and sound nostalgia thing, where Tobey Maguire looks at his phone and he sees the video of the kid and he's like, "You ever been just chilling?" And then he's crying. And then, it shows, a montage of, GTA 5, Five Nights at Freddy's, and, Kick the Buddy, and Geometry Dash, and, all the stuff that I grew up with, the late 2000s and early 2010s was the peak. And I don't know, I guess through all the sadness, I just I couldn't help but think, man, I wish I can go back to middle school, going to my cousin's house, playing Minecraft on the 360 while listening to Five Nights at Freddy's songs on YouTube.